Welcome to Microsoft 365 training. In this video, we'll see difference between site content types and list content types, and also we'll see few of the document library settings. In that, we'll discuss about checkout, check-in, and discard checkout, and what's the difference between these three. We'll discuss in this session. So for that, I'm going back to this site. In this site, we have created few site content types. I'll go back to the site information, or you can go to site contents. Anywhere you can, from anywhere you can go to the site settings. When we hit this site settings, it will redirect us to this site settings page. Under this one, we can able to see the site content types. In this site content types, we can able to see this one in the modern UI will return back to the classic UI. Of course, we can able to check that in the modern UI as well. Now, when you scroll down, you can able to see this Rishan solutions. If you hit this Rishan city, it shows as a site content type. And here we have site content types option. And these options we already discussed. Here we have couple of columns like title, assigned to technology, full name and address. Here, if you want to update any, or if you want to add any new site column to the existing content type, you can go and do it from here. But this is create column option, but I'm not going, I don't want to go from here. And I want to add from an existing site column. I'll add any of this existing site column to this. Like if I try to add an author, and if I click add, and in the bottom I can able to see update all content types inheriting from this type. And we have tried this in a different list as well. I'm going back to this countries list. In this countries list, I'll check, or if you click this one, you can able to see this Rishan content type. So once we hit this Rishan content type, and here we have title assigned to technology, full name and address. And if I go back here, and if I try to add we plan to add other, and we added here. And when I click OK, and here we have an option add all content types inheriting from this type. We made this one yes, and when I click OK, and then it will add that column to all the places where this content type is resides. I'm going back here and we'll try to refresh this page. And if I hit this Russian content type, now I can able to see this author column is available. Now we have address, everything we have. The same way, if you go to any other list, I have this test list. I hope in this test list also we have this content type. When you click this content type, and it also contains this author column will be available. The same way, I'm going back to this list settings. Now we have this test list. Under this one, I have this Russian content type, which is inheriting from the site content type. But when I try to open this one here, I can able to see this one named it as a list content type. And if I try to add from existing site columns or a list column to this one, if I hit this one, I can able to see these columns. I can able to add from the list columns as well. This list, I don't think so. We don't have any columns, and we'll see that one. For example, I have some custom columns. There is a task outcome, and I'm trying to add this to this content type. In the bottom, we don't have an option to update the content type, because here this content type is a list content type. It will not impact on any other content type which is inheriting from the same site content type. Also, it will not impact because this is associated with the list. And if you try to add anything here, or if you update anything here, it will not update the site content type. Site content type can able to update the list content types, but list content types cannot able to update the site content types. The same manner, if I am going back to this countries list, and here if I try to go back to the site settings, and under that we can able to see this Rishan content type. And here if I try to add any existing list column or a site column, I can able to see this site column option also available, because this list already contains a country column as well. If you want to add the list columns into content type, you can able to add, or if you want to add the any from the any of the existing groups also, you can able to add into the list content type. But if you go back to the site content types, from here if you want to add any column to the site content type, and you only get the existing site columns, and you cannot able to take any list columns into the site content type. But a list content type can able to take the list columns as well as site columns. So that's a major difference between these two site content types and the list content types. Any site content type which is associated with any list, and that time that call it as a list content type. If you update the site content type, and you can able to update the list content types, but if you update the list content type, the site content types will not update. So that is about that. Now we'll discuss about the document library. So there is a document library which is already created called as a shared documents. In the top you can able to see shared documents, and we already created employee documents library as well, and here we have a document. If you want to create any type of document, you can able to create from here, because SharePoint Online supports these all templates, and you can able to create a Word document, Excel workbook, PowerPoint presentation, OneNote, VCO you can able to add. And if you want to edit the new menu, you can able to edit this one. For example, if I click this one, I can able to see the folder, Word document, Excel, PowerPoint presentation. For example, if I don't want this VCO drawing, then I can able to update it, and when I click save, then if I click this one, I can only able to see Word, Excel, PowerPoint presentation, OneNote, and link and folder, but VCO drawing is not available here. And we can able to add a templates as well, that we'll discuss a bit later. And here also, if you create for example, I'm trying to create a Excel workbook, I can able to create like this. Now I'll put some data here like name, and I'll put something called address, and then that will save automatically with the name called book. But if you want to change this one, you can able to change it to Excel workbook. I can able to change this one to Excel workbook. Done. So now if you go back here, if you refresh it, the name also will refresh. Yeah, this is created. Now if you want to update multiple items like this one you want to update, and you can use editing grid view option. You can able to update the properties as well. Now I'll take this technology as Power Apps, Power Automate, document type is Excel, and if I hit this exit grid view, this will also same as an SharePoint list. And we have few of the options, and before discussing that, we'll go to the document library settings. When you hit this library settings, you can able to see the same type of options, but few things will change, that we'll discuss a bit later. The columns will be same, and the views also will be same. If you want to add the content types, you can go to this advanced settings. Under advanced settings, you can able to see first option, allow management of content types, and this is also same as in the SharePoint list. And we will have the most of the options are common, but few of the things will change like this. Custom send destination, opening documents in the browser, we don't have the permissions related stuff here. And we'll have the folders as same, and search related as same, and index non-default views also same, reindexing document library same. Offline capability is not available. I think it is available in SharePoint list. And site asset library is not available, and this is available in the document library. Quick property editing is common, and dialog box also common, automatic index management also common, and the list experience which is showing what we are in a library. But when it is coming to the back end, list and library treats us in a same fashion. There is a slight difference between a list and a document library, and the remaining most of the things would be common. We'll come back and we'll discuss this one a bit later. Meanwhile, we'll see what are the what is called checkout, or what is called check-in. So here, when I select this one, and without checking out, I can able to edit this one. If I click this one, I can able to edit. I can write something here like test, and if somebody try to edit this one, they can able to edit without any without any permission, because SharePoint Online supports a co-authoring concept, which means multiple people can able to edit the same document at a time. But what I want is, I don't want to give an option to the end user to edit I don't want to give an option to other users to edit the same document, and I want to edit, and I don't want to give this option to any other user. So then I can use this checkout concept. I close this one. When I click this one, and I can able to see an option name called checkout under more. when I click this checkout concept, now this is checked out, and you can able to see the symbol here. And now you are checked out this item, so other cannot edit the definition which is showing, because you don't want to give this option to other people. You can able to do this option. You checked out this item, so other cannot edit. And if I click this one, if I click this, I can able to edit. But if any other user on the same time, when they try to open, or maybe if I closed also, when they try to open and when they try to edit it, and they'll get a message that, and this document is locked out to so and so user, and you cannot able to edit. And that's the advantage with the checkout will lock the document for a particular person, then other people cannot able to edit that document. And we'll check this one with in another time, because we only have one user for this tenant, and we cannot able to test the checkout concept. But once you've done your changes and you're done with your work, and you can able to check in this one. And if you want to pass some comments, you can able to pass the comments, or you can directly click check in. So once you check in, this document is available for editing to other users until that, and it will be locked to you, and other people will not able to edit that one. And for example, there is an other option also available. For example, this document is checked out to some person or some user. The user is not available now, maybe he went for a long leave, or he left the organization. If you want this document to be edited, so you can able to do the discard checkout as well. Here we have discard checkout concept. When you hover on it, you can able to see. Or if you click on this one, if you go to more, you can able to see this discard checkout concept. If you hit this discard checkout, and you'll get a pop-up message stating that if you discard your checkout, and you will lose all changes made to the document. Are you sure want to discard your checkout? Like I did, so that's why it is asking me, because I checked out and I am doing a discard checked out. But it will not happen in the real time. In the real time, most of the cases, some of the persons is taken that document to edit, but they are no longer available now. Or if you want to utilize the document and you want to append the changes to the document, so that point of time you can do this discard checkout. And this option will not available to everyone, and this option will be available to the people who are having a proper rights. And the people who are having a read and contribute access, they cannot able to discard the checkout. Who have a full controller, who have a design permission, they can able to do the discard checkout. So once you do this discard checkout, the people who made the changes, and that type of changes will not no longer available in the document. Anyhow, this type of things like this things will check in the upcoming sessions, and we'll try to open the same site or the same document library with the different users, and we'll try to check that one. And I'm clicking yes. Then now this file is available to check out, or this file is available to edit. So that is called checkout, check-in, and discard checkout. And if you go back to the library settings, few of the settings you can able to see, like list name, description, and navigation, which we tested in a SharePoint list, and you can able to see the same option is available here. The versioning settings also will be same as the list. When you click this one, the first option you can see the required content approval for the submitted items is available here, and the document version same as the list version. You can keep the number of major versions, and there it is showing 50, but it is already 500. And draft item security same as a SharePoint list, but this concept is added to the document library. And here the message is stating that required document to be checked out before they can be edited, which means before editing the document you must and should do the checkout, then only you can able to edit. If you click yes, and I'm clicking yes, and I'm clicking OK. So when I click OK, and if I go back to this document library, earlier without checking out I can able to edit this document, but now we cannot able to get that option. Now I have opened this one. When I try to enter some message here like test something, in the top we will get a message stating that read only. This workbook was open in read only mode. If you want to edit that workbook, you can edit that workbook, but if you hit this edit workbook, you'll get a message saying that here, in order to edit workbooks, in this folder, they must first be checked out. To edit this workbook, check out the workbook in the folder to the server, not to your drafts folder, and then try to edit in Excel again. So anyhow, so what it's trying to say is, first check out the document and then edit the document. Otherwise you cannot able to edit the document, because we made that mandatory in the settings. So that's why it is asking like that. Now it is checked out, you can able to add any data here. Now when I try to add the data, now I can able to add the data. And of course, in SharePoint Online, when you are working with the browser, and it automatically saves for every 2 to 3 seconds, when you try to add the data, that automatically saves back to the server. And if you completed your work, then you can do the check-in. Once you check in, the data will save back to the server again, and this file will be available for editing for other users. And when they try to edit, and they must and should check out this document before editing the data. So that is about the few settings and the checkout and check-in concept in document library. And we discussed about site content types and list content types, and what's the difference between those two.